Hello viewers, welcome to Joy's Kitchen. I hope you are all doing very good. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite pasta sauce, which is Ragù sauce. Everyone know what Ragù sauce is, which is kind of like when we eat pasta Bolognese. That's the sauce they put on top of the spaghetti, and usually this traditional Ragù sauce made by beef, but I'm gonna made actually with chicken, minced chicken, because I'm trying to make it a little bit healthy, but at the same time that's gonna be exactly the same way flavorful, maybe a little bit more than the normal Ragù sauce. And yeah, it's so yummy, it's so delicious, and this is one of the best meal and easiest meal. So I'm going to show you step by step how I'm going to make my Ragù sauce. Just stay with me and enjoy the recipe. To make my Ragù sauce, I took 1 kilo minced chicken or ground chicken. Usually the traditional Italian Ragù sauce, they make it with ground beef or ground pork, but I prefer to make it with ground chicken because I don't eat red meat, and at the same time that's a little bit much healthy option. And trust me, the taste gonna be exactly same. The taste gonna be maybe a little bit more than normal Ragù sauce, but this is so good. And I asked my butcher to make the chicken pieces. This is actually chicken thigh pieces. They make it like minced chicken, but you can take like chicken breast as well, doesn't matter. But I prefer chicken thigh because they have dark meat and they usually don't get very dry. So this is chicken thigh minced. For vegetable, I took around 1.5 handful of brown mushroom or chestnut mushroom, and I finely chopped it because everything need to be very finely chopped to go with the minced chicken. So you can take white mushroom as well, but I prefer like brown mushroom, have a little more depth in their flavor. This one, around 1.5 handful of wild mushroom. I prefer a little bit of crunchiness, so wild mushroom usually give a little bit of crunchiness and they almost like a meaty kind of texture. So that's why I took two kind of mushrooms here, chestnut mushroom and wild mushroom. I took 1.5 handful of celery. I finely chopped it exactly the same way the other things. I took 2 medium-sized carrot and also I grated it. So everything need to be very finely chopped or grated. So carrot, and I took 2 large onion, also very finely chopped. You can see this is like the white onion, doesn't matter, it's just white or brown, whatever you are using. So yeah, these are the vegetable I'm using to make my Ragù, and that's the traditional vegetables. And at the same time I took 1 large garlic and all the cloves, nearly like 15 cloves of garlic. I finely chopped it. So yeah, I need a lot of garlic for this sauce. So in a large pan I already take 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I take a little bit more olive oil than normal Ragù sauce, because the reason is because I'm not using minced beef, because usually beef is a little bit more fattier than chicken mince. So that's why I'm adding a little bit, added a little bit more oil than normal Ragù sauce. So 3 tablespoons. And now I'm gonna fry my meat at least 5 to 6 minutes till all the water goes and it's gonna be like normal dry ground meat. So you can see my minced meat actually released quite a lot of water, so I have to cook it at least 5 to 6 minutes more to get like make them like very dry. So at the same time, in a big cup, I took around 7 tablespoons of tomato puree. This is the main ingredient because this tomato puree is gonna make my whole Ragù very rich and very like tangy, sweet, at the same time very flavorful. So I just took like normal any kind of brand tomato puree, and I added a little bit of boiling water and I mixed it. Like it's not going to be very thick, it's kind of like a rich sauce, you can see. So I added like half cup of boiling water and 7 tablespoons of tomato puree. So after around 9 minutes of cooking, you can see all the water is gone. So now it's just only the ground minced chicken, you can see. So when my meat is dry, now I added actually my all garlic, chopped garlics, and now I'm gonna fry it for 1 minute. So after 1 minute of frying, I added all my vegetable together, all my mushroom, celery, carrots, onions, everything. And now after adding the vegetable, I'm gonna fry my meat and my vegetable together at least another 6 to 7 minutes till they are a little bit softened and a little bit done. So at the same time, after adding the vegetable, I'm gonna add one chicken stock cube as well, because I'm using minced chicken. That's why I'm using a chicken stock cube. Usually in traditional ragu, people use like maybe half glass of half cup of red wine. I do use red wine, but this is for everyone, because some people maybe don't like alcohol in their food. So for that purpose, I am leaving the wine part. So I've been frying nearly 6-7 minutes my meats and my vegetables. You can see my vegetables are quite soft now. They change their color, and my meats are quite ground and change their color as well, because this is a minced chicken, so they're gonna cook quite quickly than beef ragu. So now I'm adding some herbs. So I'm adding 1.5 teaspoon of rosemary and 1.5 teaspoon of oregano. So I'm using only two kind of herb, which is oregano and rosemary, because these two herb goes really good with all the vegetables, and ragu actually cooked by using these two kind of herbs. And I'm not using fresh one, I'm using dry one, because I feel like dry one goes more better than the fresh one, but you can go for fresh one. So now my vegetables, my chicken are almost cooked, and now it's all about my sauce now. So at the same time, I'm adding some more spices. I'm adding half teaspoon of black pepper powder. Oh, this sauce is so good with pasta. I'm using around 2.5 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. You can use any kind of all-purpose seasoning. As I said, I'm not using wine, so that's why I'm using a little bit more other flavor to give my ragu really nice kind of flavor. So even in traditional ragu, they don't use all-purpose seasoning, but I do, because I feel like my one is a little bit more special, and trust me, that goes really good. Just use it, any kind of all-purpose seasoning. So I'm adding around 1.5 teaspoon, and at the same time I'm gonna add around 1.5 teaspoon of plain paprika powder as well. This plain paprika gonna give really nice kind of rich red color, and at the same time really nice kind of smoky flavor, because end of the day you need some flavor in your sauce, because you are eating with like normal spaghetti. So I'm adding around, like, this teaspoon is a little bit bigger than normal teaspoon, so 1.5 teaspoon for 1 kilo minced chicken. But if you are adding cooking more minced chicken, add more. That's it. So my all spices I added. So after adding all the spices, now my ragu is ready to take the gravy. So I'm adding 2 cans of chopped tomatoes, because I'm making a 1 kilo minced chicken. If you are making more, as I said, you add more chopped tomatoes. So I'm adding 2 cans of chopped tomatoes, like shop-bought chopped tomatoes. These chopped tomatoes gonna make the sauce actually like really rich and really red, and that's actually the texture we are looking for ragu sauce. You can't add fresh tomatoes. You never use fresh tomatoes if you are making ragu, because that's gonna make your whole dish really bland and really watery, and ragu not supposed to be like that. So yeah, so all my chopped tomatoes I mixed, and now I'm gonna give my gravy more richness. Oh, look at the color, and the smell is coming from it. Oh my god, it's so amazing. So for more richness, now I'm gonna add my those pre-mixed tomato puree. As I said, I added 7 tablespoon, like big tablespoon of tomato puree here, and I added a little bit of boiling water, and then I'm adding this sauce here, because that sauce and the chopped tomato gonna give the whole ragu most of the flavor and the richness and the color and everything. And trust me, this is one of the dish, if you cook exactly following my recipe, you're gonna love it. And the good thing about this ragu sauce is, if you have extra, you can put it in a normal freezer bag, and you can put it in your freezer for 1 or 2 months. Whenever you need it, you just bring it and microwave it, and just put it on top of your pasta, boil some pasta and put it on top of your pasta, and that's it, your dinner is ready. Even sometimes I can put in my deep freeze for 2 months this sauce, so you can make some extra and put it in your deep freeze, and children love it. So now you can see how thick my sauce is. So at the same time, I'm gonna add 2 bay leaf as well. This bay leaf gonna give really nice kind of bay leafy flavor. So just add 2 or 3 bay leaf. So yeah. So you can see my sauce is almost ready. So now I'm gonna add around half cup of boiling water in my sauce, because as I said, I'm gonna slow cook it. So that's gonna be in my hob at least 1.5 hours. because after that you're gonna get the proper ragu, rich ragu sauce. So that's why you need quite a lot of liquid. And this anyway, when you're gonna cook this dish for a long time, this all extra water gonna absorb and it's gonna be like a thick kind of dish. So don't worry that you are adding too much of water or sauce or everything. That's all gonna reduce. So now I added around half cup of, a little bit more than half cup of boiling water, and then I'm gonna cover my pot and I'm gonna cook it in moderate heat at least for 1.5 hours. You're just gonna forget like this is on top of your hob. So yeah, I covered my pot, you can see, and I'm gonna cook it for 1.5 hours in a moderate heat. And my salt and everything is perfectly okay. I checked it. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, you can see my pot is in a moderate heat. So at the same time I'm boiling some water as well. I added a little bit of oil and salt to boil my pastas, and after that I'm gonna serve my dish. And yeah, just wait 1.5 hours. So here you go guys, this is my ragu sauce is ready for you, and as you see I served it on top of the spaghetti, and that's how the ragu sauce shop supposed to eat, because this is actually the beef bolognese, but my one is chicken bolognese because I'm not using beef here. And trust me, if you make this sauce, put it in your deep freeze, you can eat anytime you can get the best lavish like dinner. And this is one of the flavorful sauce, as I say. So just don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and follow my recipes and share my recipes with your friends, family and neighbors. And I hope you're gonna make this dish and you're gonna enjoy it with your family. And yeah, that's it. Eat healthy and live healthy. Bye bye. Take care.